History tells us about kings who conquered the world with armies of men. But there was one king whose army was not human. He controlled the wind, he spoke to animals, and he commanded a legion of invisible entities that humanity fears to this day. They call him Solomon the Wise, but to the unseen world, he was the jailer. This is the true story of Prophet Solomon and the army of Jinns. To understand the mystery, we must go back 3,000 years. Solomon was not just a successor to his father, King David. He wanted something more. He prayed for a kingdom that no one after him would ever possess, a dominion so absolute it defied the laws of nature. His request was granted. First, the wind became his chariot. It traveled a month's journey in a single morning, but the wind was just the transport. The real power lay in the subjugation of the Jinn, beings of smokeless fire who had lived on Earth long before humans. These weren't the genies you see in cartoons. These were powerful, dangerous entities, builders, divers, architects, and warriors. Under Solomon's command, they were stripped of their free will. If they disobeyed, they faced a punishment of blazing fire. They built the impossible. Look at the descriptions of his temple: massive basins of copper, statues, arches. Historians are still baffled by the engineering. The Quran mentions a fountain of molten copper. Imagine that, metal flowing like water at his command, allowing the jinns to mold weapons and structures instantly. But power didn't make him arrogant. In the Valley of the Ants, he halted his entire colossal army just to let an ant colony pass safely. He heard their tiny warning, the king of jinns and men listening to the smallest creature, a masterclass in leadership. Then came the report from his aerial intelligence, the hoopoe bird. It brought news of a civilization that worshipped the sun, the kingdom of Sheba. Queen Bilqis, a powerful ruler. Solomon didn't invade her, he invited her, but he prepared a test of reality that would shatter her perception. When she arrived at his palace, she lifted her dress, thinking she was stepping into water. It was a floor of solid crystal glass. It wasn't magic, it was superior technology and architecture given by God. She realized her sun worship was nothing compared to the source of this power. Yet even with all this glory, Solomon was mortal, and his death is perhaps the greatest mystery of all. The jinns feared him so much that they worked relentlessly, terrified that his watchful eye was upon them. They didn't know the king was already gone. He died standing up, leaning on his staff. For days, weeks, perhaps months, his body remained upright. The jinns worked in chains of fear, thinking he was watching. Only then did the jinns realize they had been slaving away for a corpse. It was a final lesson. The unseen world does not know the future. Solomon's kingdom was unique, never to be repeated, a time when the veil between the human and the jinn was lifted by the permission of God. What other secrets lie buried beneath history? Subscribe and ring the bell to find out.